All right, well, let's see what day 22 brings us. Day 22, no more heap hoarding. Listen, do you realize every single read to string call triggers a fresh heap allocation? Do you think we've got infinite memory lying around? Here I called it a few times in the process of taking up 1.5 gigabytes of memory. You think this is acceptable? That was part of the quote. I see, they ended the quote too soon. Listen to glance up, nonchalant. Heap allocations happen, Santa. That's life. Santa's eyes narrowed. Do you want the nightmare of day one all over again? That disaster was just a simple string clone, and it nearly broke us. This is worse, way worse. I don't want to end up manually running drop just to keep things from spiraling into chaos. Listened, Stephen, finally taking the hint. Okay, what do you want me to do? Brancer cut in cautiously. Why not cache the file content on every write and return a reference to the cache content on every read? Listen nodded slowly. Yeah, that'll work. No more redundant allocations, no stale reads, and we don't touch drop at all. Huh? So you're duplicating the entire contents of the file in memory, and that you're not considering that a redundant allocation. Okay. Sure. Santa's glare softened marginally. Good. Make it lean, make it fast, and make sure it's ready by sunrise. We don't have much time. Chris is just around the corner. All right. Santa's files are huge. Yeah. So we're going to consume main memory. To prevent that, we need to create a new method named read to stir that will return a string slice instead of an owned value. All right. Create a new field called content. Update the write method to update the content on every write. And complete the read from cache method to return a string slice instead of an owned value. All right. Let's grab this. Copy. Let's add a new module, day 22. Let's paste it here. And let's see what fails to build. Oh, we're on test here. Let's go to Clippy here. All right. So step 1 is add a new field named content with a valid type. What we're writing is this. So we could just put a vec of U8, I guess. And then add an empty vec here. Right? And then down here, we're supposed to be returning a string reference, a reference to a string. So do we want this to be a string then? Are we going to assume that this series of bytes is a valid string? Because what we could do is make this a string, right? And then whenever we do a write, we're going to say self content equals string from data. I don't know if I'm sure there's a string from. It says from T. Is that going to work? No, you can't convert it directly, but it's probably from UTF-8 or something like that. Yeah, Phil says from UTF-8. Okay. From UTF-8 unchecked. From UTF-8. I guess we're assuming it's UTF-8. We don't know that. It's just random bytes of data. But sure. Oh, and then it has to be, and then we're going to have to map the error. Map error. Yeah, if it fails, so if we do the unchecked version, right? It's still, call to unsafe. That's an unsafe function. Sure. No, it still doesn't like it. Expected vec UTF-8. Really? Okay. We're kind of cheating here with this from UTF-8 unchecked and the unsafe. Oops. And then read from cache is just going to be self content as stir. Right. And it doesn't like this business here, line 22. Oh, this is my thing. Oh no, this is their thing. This is their code. Oh, I see. What they're doing it differently. I just incremented a number for each one, and they're just using the time in nanoseconds to differentiate the files, and they just assume it's gonna work. Well, isn't Into doing the same thing? And line 27, create true, add truncate true. File open with create, but truncated behavior not defined. Okay. Oh, you think that'll work? Yeah. If we did it as a... Right. If we did content as a U8, it would work. But we do need to get it as a stir because we need, as a string, because we need to be able to return it that way. Now I'm allocating twice. Right. I mean, if I just say from UTF-8, it still needs... Does it need a vec? What does this take in? It takes a vec of U8, which is what we need. Does toVec really require? Yeah, see, somehow it's expecting a vec of U8. I'm passing in a reference. Phil says, on my solution, the content was a U8. Maybe it's not optimal. Well, I mean, you have to convert it to a string somewhere, right? So you're either converting it when you write it or you convert it when you read it. And the question is, what is the application going to do more often? Right? If you're going to do a bunch of writes and you very rarely call read from cache, then it makes sense to convert it and read from cache. If you're going to read from cache a lot, then it makes sense to convert it once during the write and then read it back a lot. So it all depends on how the application is going to use it. Tommy's suggesting using stir : instead of string. Like this? Can you do stir from UTF-8? Oh, you can. Look at that. I didn't know about this. This is in core stir. It's not in standard. Oops. Oh, the conversion's in core. Okay. So if we do this, it's still returning a result, but... Oh, yeah. And then if we do it this way, okay, then we have to add a lifetime to this guy. Right? I wonder if that's going to break the... Yeah, we can't use question mark there. We have to be able to map the error. Well, if I say map error, oops, into, can I do that? Oh, you can't. How do I generate my own standard IO error? Wow, that's bright. Oh, using anyhow? I don't want to use, I can't use other crates in this thing here. Error new, error kind other, oh no. Okay. Which means we have to pull in both of those. Question mark, semicolon. So we pull in error is standard IO error. And error kind, standard IO error kind. Oh, and now we're having a problem with the lifetimes here. Use of unstable library feature stir as stir. That becomes a no op. Okay, and then we just have this. Yeah. So we're converting this, but it becomes the lifetime of this thing then, because then we're not allocating, right? We have to actually allocate it at least once. Because otherwise, we would have to do this, and I don't know that their thing is going to work. Let's get rid of these guys. Oh, okay. And then we're allocating it as a string to owned. So I always stayed away from this one. But if I say into here and then change this to a string and do that, Tommy says, yes, that's what you want. That's what I want. Okay. And this is as stir. And this just returns a reference, right? It doesn't, yeah. It just points it into it. Oh, look at that. You can do it directly here. You can just say error other. Oops. Like that. Wait a minute. Did Clippy lie to me? Oh, here's the other. There we go. And now we don't need error kind. Okay. All right. All right. So I learned about error kind other, and I learned about the shortcut here. What does this say? Creates a new IO error from an arbitrary error payload. This function is used to generically create IO errors which do not originate from the OS itself. Shortcut for error new with error kind other. Nice. Error other, yeah, so I just had that up on screen. Tommy says content is string, but the whole conversion is from bytes is just one allocation instead of two. That's good, because that's what we want. We only want to allocate once and put it in there. Okay, so let's copy this. Let's go back here. Let's paste it in and see if it passes the tests. They all passed. Yay. Thank you, chat, for all your help.